Hey guys, welcome to your second video. It's on factoring. I just did a whole video and then when I played it back, part of the numbers were all cut off, so I have to redo it. Amazing. Anyways, no big deal. So just to recap, today we did multiples. So that was a skip counting by a particular number. So if we were doing the multiples of 3, we would count up by 3, like 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. Factoring is different. It's what two numbers that we multiply together get that bigger number. So for example, if we were doing the factors of 24, it's all the numbers that when you multiply those pairs together give you 24. So I'm going to show you how to factor a factor rainbow, how that works, and I've kind of drawn it here. So if you're doing the factors of 24, for example, you start off by putting 24 over on the right-hand side. And then on your calculator, you see, okay, well, what's the pair? What times what when you multiply it together gets you 24? So the first thing you would do on your calculator is you go 24, you'd work backwards, and you'd start off with 1. 24 divided by 1. Well, we know that's 24. So we know that that pair is 1, which means that 1, if you follow the rainbow all the way to the other side, 1 times 24 is 24. Next on your calculator, you would do 24 divided by 2 and see if that works, if you get a whole number. And you do, because 24 divided by 2 is 12. So you put one part of the pair on the left side and the other part of the pair on the other side, which means 2 times 12 equals 24. And then the next one you would do is 24 divided by 3. Does that go evenly? We know it does. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So then on this side you'd put 3. Oops, that doesn't show up. This side you put 3, and the other side you'd put 8. And then the next thing you'd put in your calculator is 24 divided by 4. Does that go in evenly? We know it does. It equals 6. So we do 4 on this side, and we do 6 on this side. And we can keep going. We could say 24 divided by 5. Does that go evenly? If you look on your calculator, it doesn't. It gives you a decimal. We're only working with whole numbers. And then the next one will be 24 divided by 6, but we've already used 6. So we can just stop there. So those are all of our factors for 24. And you match one side of the rainbow to the other side of the rainbow, and that's how you get your pair. I'll do another example. Okay, so let's use the example of 32. So I continued doing the factor rainbow for 32. So on my calculator, I would start with 1, and I go 32 divided by 1 is 32. So my first pair would be 1 times 32 is 32. Then on my calculator, the next one I would do is 32 divided by 2. We know that's 18. So I'd put 2 on this side. I put 18 on the other side. The next one I would try is 32 divided by 3. Well, that doesn't go in evenly. That gives us a decimal, so we can't use that. The next one I would try is 32 divided by 4, and we know that's 8, so we can use that. So we put the smaller number on this side, 4, and match it up with this pair, which is 8. The next thing I would try is 32 divided by 5. That doesn't go evenly. Again, we know because it ends in a 2. To be able to be divided by 5, it has to end in a 0 or a 5. So 32 divided by 5 won't work. 32 divided by 6. That also gives us a decimal, so that won't work. Then the next one's 32 divided by 7. That also gives us a decimal, that won't work. And the next one is 8. And we already have 8 in our factor rainbow, so we don't have to use that. So now we have a complete list of all the factors of 32. It's 1, 2, 4, 8, 18, and 32. Okay, so the next thing we would do is, what if we had to find common factors between numbers? So let's try 30 and 36. So we start by doing 30 on this side, and we know it's always matched up with 1. On your calculator, you would next go 30 divided by 2. We know that's 15. So we do 2 on this side, 15 on this side. Then we put in 30 divided by 3. That's 10, so that also works. which means that the pair is 3 and 10. Oh, that should be matched up with that one there. And then we would do 30 divided by 4. That doesn't work. That doesn't go evenly. Then we will try 30 divided by 5. That's 6, so that pair does work. So 5 on this side, 6 on that side. 30 divided by 7 gives us a decimal. That doesn't work. 30 divided by 8, that doesn't work either. And we would keep trying on our calculator to see if we can find numbers that will go in evenly. But this is our complete list here. So we know that the factors of 30 are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. And I went ahead and listed the factors of 36. So again, on my calculator, I would do 36 divided by 1 is 36. So my first pair would be 1 and 36. And then my next step, I would do 36 divided by 2, and that gives us 18. So my pair would be 2, and 18 would be on the other side. Then the next step I would do is 36 divided by 3, and that's 12. So I put 3 on the left side, 12 on the right side. Next would be 36 divided by 4, that's 9. So you put 4 on the left side, 9 on the right side. Next I would try 36 divided by 5. That doesn't go in evenly, so I can't use that. And then the next one would be 6. So I go 36 divided by 6, and that's 6. So I put 6 on this side, and I put 6 on that side. So I have all of my factors listed for 36, and all of my factors listed for 30. So now what I have to do, if I want to find the greatest common factor, so of all the factors that they have in common, I have to find the largest one. So what I do first is I start off by listing the common factors, or CF. So you look at the between the two sets of numbers, what do they have in common? So there's 1 here, and there's 1 there. So a common factor is 1. There's a 2 here and a 2 here, so the other common factor is 2. There's a 3 here and a 3 here. The other common factor is 3. There's a 5 on the top, not a 5 on the bottom. 4 is not in common, but we have 6 in common. And between the other sets of numbers, there isn't anything else in common. So looking at this list here, 1, 2, 3, 6, the greatest common factor, or the biggest number out of these numbers here, these 4 numbers, is 6. So the greatest common factor is 6. I'm going to do one more example. What if the question asked you, find the greatest common factor of 8 and 10? So let's do a factor rainbow for 8. So again, go 8 divided by 1 is 8, so we know that's 1 and 8. We do 8 divided by 2, and that's 4. So we put 2 here and 4 on the other side. And we do 8 divided by 3. Does that work? Nope. 8 divided by 4, we already have 4. So we can stop right there. So now doing the factors of 10, 10 divided by 1 is 10. So you do 1 on that side, 10 on the other. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So the pairs are 2 and 5. 10 divided by 3, does that work? Nope. 10 divided by 4 doesn't work? Nope. 10 divided by 5, well, we already have 5. So we're done for those. So now we look and we see, okay, so between these two sets of numbers, what are the common factors, or CF? They have 1 in common, and there's the number 2 in common, and that's it. So the common factors are 1 and 2, and then out of these numbers, what's the greatest one, or the GCF, greatest common factor? And that would be 2. And here's your question for tonight. Find the factors of 28 and 32. So you're going to do factor rainbows for those two, find the common factors, and then what is the greatest common factor, or the GCF. All right, that's all. Have a good night, guys. See you tomorrow.